you guys! So I'm gonna talk in this video, and some of the topics that I want to talk about, they're a little bit difficult. I want to talk about energetic torture, okay? I want to talk about human ascension or spiritual awakening, and I want to kind of combine some of the hardship that people go through with spiritual awakening. I want to talk a little bit about that in conjunction with energetic torture. There's quite a lot of avenues to take here in this conversation, and Joe and I have been talking about it. It's coming up a lot right now, where people are expressing a desperate need for help. And people who are sensitive, people who have psychic ability, they're sensitive to energetic interactions, okay? And energetic interactions are frequency waves. It's just like tuning into another radio station. So each radio station connects you like a telephone wire to a frequency, like from point A to point B. So how do I want to describe this? I could just dive into the scary, or I could take kind of a roundabout way. Give me just a minute. I didn't prepare myself for this conversation. I just knew I needed to make this video. All right. Okay, so some of the things that people experience when they're being psychically attacked or energetically tortured, they experience what could be defined as evil reptilian beings, evil gray aliens, and government-based energy attack experiences. Now, from my personal experience, because I've already been through this, it took me an entire year to get from the beginning to the end, and it was a massive learning journey, where I went from feeling like a victim to something that was beyond my control or unfathomable, unbelievable, and I thought I was going to die from it. And I developed extreme paranoia. I was being burnt alive. I felt like I was being dipped in acid. I couldn't sleep at night. I couldn't eat. This was in 2016. This wasn't that long ago. And it took from June of 2016 to March of 2017. And I had to face my fears. And what I'm talking about here is when you go from the everyday human experience, because before June of 2016, I was still an everyday person. I was having a lot of spiritual, psychic experiences, but I didn't consider myself a psychic. I didn't really do psychic work. I started to do psychic work in March of 2016, and within 3 months, I left my full-time job to do psychic work full-time, and then I started being energetically attacked. What convenient timing. Like, what ridiculous convenient timing. So now I'm a full-time psychic with my paycheck. It depends on me doing my psychic work full-time. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to financially survive. And I can't sleep. I can't eat. I feel like I'm being acidically burned alive. And I can't figure out what the heck is going on here. This happens to people. So what is the reality of this? Because a lot of people are insisting that reptilian beings are attacking them. Greys are attacking them. The government is attacking them. And I'm telling you right now, in my personal experience, where I felt as though that was happening to me, none of it was actually real. None of it was. What was taking place there was a massive rebirth. So I had to go through an extremely painful energetic death. And it messed up my mind. It confused me. My ego was so extremely challenged. It pulled out from the depths of me the chaos of my soul. And the only way my mind could interpret it was through these means. And I felt it. I felt I was being attacked by aliens, and I felt there was some government involvement in this. And there was also paranoia. It sucked big time. Now, when people come to Joe and I to get assistance with this, I've been there before. I already know all about this. And what we can do to help is we can go into your energy field and we can start to clear out what is actually in your energy field. And it can look like acid. It can look like all kinds of stuff. And when this trigger is tripped, you can create a frequency connection with some messed up stuff, some really messed up stuff in the universe. Because your frequency is shifted, you're going through a hardcore energetic death, and then you're going through the process of rebirth, which you could get lost in this. You can get lost in this, and I don't know how you're going to get to the other side if you get lost in this. Because in the end, now you're going to have to face it all by yourself, because that's now your learning. And you can't blame it on anybody. You can't blame it on the alien beings. You can't blame it on the government. You can't blame it on the human race. You can't blame it on anything. It's your learning experience, and it's now time for you to face it. I had to face it. It's tough talk because it's hard. Nobody understands. You have nobody to talk to about it. You're in pain. You feel like you're going to die. And it's an entirely invisible experience. And you're having it, and nobody can see it. Nobody gets it. So I'm going to talk about the frequencies, okay? Because what I feel took place with me was my ego reacted, and my ego was trying to counteract me and my expansion, which you could call it my consciousness transitioning from 3D to 5D. You could call it that. But I had a lot within myself that wasn't going to allow that to happen, because I've been frequency trained to being in 3D, okay? I've been frequency trained. So now that I'm breaking 3D frequency and I'm rising above it, what is going to happen? I'm going to be attacked, the living daylights out of me, attacked. Where is it coming from? Inside myself. It's coming from an inspiration inside myself. Now, not only that, I will tell you some other weird stuff. When that frequency shifts take place and you're in chaos now, you can connect onto other chaos frequencies that now become the alien beings that are burning you alive and all this other stuff. And I found real spaces like this, and they're easy to demolish. They're easy to take down, because they're energy spaces that are working with fear. Energy spaces that are built on fear are built on illusion. And if nobody steps into that frequency and says, you're done, then the frequency will exist. And I find parts of the human race connected to weird places where, I don't know how I want to describe it. Give me a second here. Let me close my eyes and see how I want to describe this. Because again, I don't want to go a roundabout way. I mean, I want to be a little bit more direct here, but it's kind of weird to talk about it. So I'm going to start a new sentence and I'm going to talk about some of the weird things that I've seen in the spirit realm, and then I'll find a way to blend it all together. All right, when I was going through my experience, this was also during a time when I was waking up. I would wake up in the morning, but I would find a part of my soul in an energy space, a weird energy space. And there would be like what could be like glass prisons, and there was lots of souls that were being contained. And they're like soul fragments. Now, a soul fragment is infinite energy. So if somehow you could harness soul fragments, you would have infinite energy. Now imagine having one soul fragment. Now imagine having 1,000,000 soul fragments. The more soul fragments, the more access to infinite energy. But if we can heal, then there are no more soul fragments. And nobody can take your soul fragment from you. Nobody can, unless you don't know what's happening and you don't really care. A lot of the human race has become kind of blind. We don't really know what's going on anymore. And we've lost touch with the spirit realm. We've lost touch with our psychic ability. And so we're kind of in a state of numbness and not aware. Who's creating these spaces, I don't know, but they're really easy to break down. They are real spaces. And so when I would come across them, I mean, they're all made out of energy. And I'd have to uproot them. I mean, I'd have to basically demolish them and just set the soul fragments free. There was another space that I found. The only time I've ever come across artificial AI, everybody talks about, that celebrity's AI, that celebrity's AI. I've never come across a single person that is AI on the planet. However, there's AI souls. It's the weirdest thing. So it's almost like fabricated souls. I don't know how you would create a fabricated soul, but you can tell it's like a computer. It's like a soul that is like a computer. And it's probably the weirdest thing that I've ever come across. I've only come across it one time. And in this space where this robotic soul was taking care of this massive space where I saw many soul fragments in pods. And this robotic soul knew me, and it knew everybody. And Joe and I both worked together to demolish that space. There were other ones that we came across during 2016, and this was also the time that I was going through this psychic attack. So, I mean, it could very well be that I was changing my frequency, and then I was accessing frequencies that I wasn't aware of. And now I was seeing them and demolishing them to set myself free along with a bunch of other souls. But either way, I've come to learn that there literally is nothing out there that can hurt you. There isn't. And once you realize that inside yourself, you can't realize it in your mind. Your mind is not enough. You have to realize it inside yourself. Once you realize it inside yourself, now what? What are you capable of? Now, when it comes to energy, fear is really easy to demolish. Unless you get attached to it, then it will kill you. Fear can actually suck you dry and kill you. But that's you becoming a victim of it and not finding your power, overcoming it and moving on. Because now fear becomes the teacher and you the student. But what happens when the student becomes the teacher? Fear just disappears. Because that's exactly the learning that you needed at that time. So in the energy realm, when it comes to love, love heals all things. It heals anything that is out of balance with the frequency of love. And illusion can't fight that because love is so pure and so grounded and so honest. Illusion can try to manipulate love. If illusion manipulates you, then now you're the victim. Okay? But if you know what love is capable of and you know your power with love, now you can stand strong. You can face your fear. You can face those alien beings that you see in your mind that are being kicked up as you're going through a massive death and rebirth inside yourself, as you're connecting with other messed up frequencies, as you're learning how to face the chaos within in order to ascend to a higher dimensional plane of experience. And who knows what you're going to find along the way. You might be setting some soul fragments free of other human beings on the planet. Because all this stuff is getting demolished now. It's all getting demolished now because we don't need it anymore. The human race doesn't need to work with that anymore. We need to remember love again so we can, start cycling into this new timeline of our collective. So, okay, so I've said that stuff. I want to come back to the conversation of what do you do when you're in this experience? So what did I do? All right, when I was first in this experience, I had no idea. I didn't know what to make of it. And because I'm so psychic, I could hear conversations in my mind. I could see beings. I could see reflections of myself and what was being done. I could actually feel it inside myself. I felt like my soul's being dipped in acid, and it hurt so bad that I could pee my pants. I could puke, and this was happening a lot of like night after night after night after night. I was being attacked in the middle of the night. I couldn't sleep. And there was only like 2 hours during the day when I could be awake, and that's when I would do the psychic sessions, when I could actually feel like myself again. And all the other time, that energy would come back and it would make me shake. And I would have these like tremors that would run through me. And the worst thing was going to bed at night. I developed post-traumatic stress from it, and it took me a long time to be able to fall asleep at night again. So one thing that I did was I used Reiki all flippin' day long. So I was attuned to Usui Reiki, Kundalini Reiki. I have a free attunement videos. Just go to my website. You can find the attunement videos and free manuals there and learn Kundalini and Usui Reiki. Now you're a healer. Now you have power. Okay? AbbeyNormalsWisdomQuest.com. Now you have power. So I did Reiki like nobody's business on myself constantly, and it kept me stabilized. I would say Archangel Michael, Archangel Lucifer, Archangel Raphael in my mind over and over and over and over and over and over and over, as though that was the only thing I knew. That's the only thing I don't know nothing about this tremor, shake, and burning, and all I know, Archangel Michael, Archangel Lucifer, Archangel, and I would just go through the names. And it was exhausting. It was hard. When I couldn't sleep, when I was having these attacks at night, I would go outside at 3 a.m. in the morning and go walk for us and just try to walk it off until some of the shaking would go away and I could go back in. There were some days where it was easier than other days, which was helping me to kind of collect myself, so that then when things got worse again, and it's just so hard. It was just so hard. Now, one thing that I had to learn how to do, well, first I had to learn that alien beings are not more powerful than me. They're just beings. And they don't live in this dense physical world. These psychic attack alien beings live in an energy world. So they're in a different dimension than me. I'm actually I am denser than they are, which means my energy is more powerful than their energy. That's why human beings helping human beings is more powerful than angels helping human beings. And angels can't always reach the human beings that pray to them, because human beings need to be helping human beings. And we don't realize how many blocks that we put up even when we ask for angelic help. We're saying, please help me, but I don't trust in love. And we don't even realize that we're saying it. We need another human being to help us. And so, anyway, I had to start learning. I had to start changing my idea of where I put my power. And I had some very interesting and amazing experiences with alien beings. One of them was and this is all a couple years ago, and I don't really need to think about this anymore, because I just but I have to talk about it sometimes, because there's something about the energies right now where it's kind of coming up, and people are talking about this, and people are reaching out asking for help. So I had some unique experiences, and again, this is kind of out of memory, but there was a alien. It was a straight up alien spaceship, and I'm telling you, all this is frequencies inside myself that attach to other frequencies of similar frequency. So I was getting connected to other things out there. But this stuff can easily be altered by altering your frequency. Again, you have to face the frequencies. I know this sounds so weird. You got to face it, and then that changes it, and it changes it inside yourself. So all I can say, it was like a spaceship of reptilians. And it was really gross feeling. And I remember that they were connecting onto me. It was really weird. I felt like my nose in the middle of the night. I woke up because my nose was vibrating. It was so weird. And I'm like, oh God, again. And I felt that there was a very specific line of information that was connecting to me, and another one, and another one, and another one. And I was like, I am so sick of this. I am so sick of this. I went through the actual cord, like going down a pipeline to one of these. And I just straight up just went in there, and I could feel the like, what? You know, like the shock here. And so I just like stared eye to eye with what I was connecting to. And I said, no more. I'm not just going to sit here and let you just mess me up like this. No. And so I went through it, and then I said no, but I worked with what I know about love, and I just started spinning and sharing love. And this is my memory of doing this, but I remember I altered the frequency of everybody on the spaceship because their frequency is tuned into that gross chaos energy, but my frequency doesn't have to be tuned into that. So I chose love. And when I chose love, that forced them to receive me. Instead of me receiving them, no. Now you're going to receive me. And let's see if you like it. All of that disconnected and went away. That was just one experience. There was more and more and more of these. There was another night. Kryon was a really big help for me. Kryon of Magnetic Service. I'm serious. Kryon of Magnetic Service. He saved my life. He saved my life a million times. He was there with me through that entire experience, and he was paramount in helping me find a way to sleep at night. But I didn't know Kryon all that well, and his energy is so strange that when I was going through this, I couldn't tell if he was manipulative or not, because I was going through so much and I didn't know anymore. Like, I couldn't be sure, but I had to choose to give trust a chance, and it worked. And he helped me out a lot, and I know he would help anybody who's going through this. But you have to start understanding energy. You have to start working with your gifts and your talents, because you're having this experience because you're gifted and talented. Don't let yourself become the victim. Learn how to turn it around. You got to face it. You got to look it eye to eye, and you got to say no. I've received you. I know what you feel like. Thanks. I don't want that anymore. Now you can receive me. And just start feeling your heart getting really, really bright inside, and just like let it out, like let it go crazy all over the place, and place it inside their hearts, place it into everywhere and everything, and feel the love, right? Let that love just disperse. And so I had another night, and I remember I was talking to Kryon, and this was in the bathtub, and I made a choice. I was trying to remember what happened exactly. I think I was trying to connect with Avery, because I was talking to Avery a lot at that time, and I haven't made many videos about him. Anyway, he kind of appeared in my mind and then transformed into this really awful snake alien. It was awful, and it became like an army of them, and they felt like putrid acid, gross barf. And again, I just closed up like a closed flower, and I just started bawling my eyes out because it just won't ever go away. And Kryon stayed there with me, and I don't know what he did, but somehow he helped me to remember the power of love. And this snake incident happened before that reptilian spacecraft incident. But once I started to remember, he gave me the courage to face this. And I remember when I looked at one of the snake aliens, and I just started to glow bright. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't know if this was going to work or not. And I felt like I was going out on a limb here to try. And I was scared. And I looked a snake in the eye, and I just started like glowing really bright, and just love, 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 love. I put love in every snake's heart. And they all just disappeared. They all just like, hell no, I don't want to be connected to this frequency. and I felt relief. After I did that, I felt relief for several days. Paranoia disappeared and I felt like myself, but it all came back. And the reason why was because I was going through an internal death, okay? And the chaos was rising and it was attaching me to gross energies. And I don't have anything against it. I have nothing against any of the energies that I experienced during that time. And nobody else should either. You shouldn't hate it. I hated it. I didn't have anybody to help me. I had to figure this out. Now, I'm making a video to help you. So now you have the answer. What are you going to do about it? Because you need to face this thing. So Joe and I, we can walk into your energy field and we'll see whatever we see in there, okay? And we can help you. Because sometimes these frequencies or the places you can latch onto are like pure energetic radiation. Like freaking radiation, like nuclear energy. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But these spaces are easy to break down. They're really easy to break down. So you just walk into them. I mean, Joe and I would just walk in and we just do whatever we're called to do in order to disconnect you from that. Once we've disconnected you from that, then we can lift you up and out of that space and then demolish that. So the thing is energy that is destroyed can be rebuilt like this. So you can't become attached to it. You have to say, okay, it's gone. It's totally done now. And that's how you start to rebuild back to normal. And even after a session, though, you have developed like memory, energetic memory. So even if we disconnect you from those spaces, it may still feel as though you're in them because your memory isn't going to relate to the possibility that this is finally over because it is so extreme. It is so traumatizing and it leaves an imprint. It's overwhelming. So now we have to work through post-traumatic stress type frequencies, okay? But I will say you can get through this. You can get to the other side of this. You can do it. So Joe and I can help. You have to book a session. We can help. You can book a session with Joe or me or both of us because we do that too. And I'll put Joe's information in the description too so you can check him out. But so we can help too. So you've got Reiki, attunements, manuals. You have Kryon of magnetic service. I swear to God. You have Archangel Michael, Archangel Lucifer. Whether you like Archangel Lucifer or not, I'm telling you, he is amazing to work with because how do I want to explain his energy? He is so bright and so beautiful and so loving, and he has been tormented, and the human race has not been told the truth about everything. And so he's been psychically attacked by the human race. And but he's still bright and he's still beautiful, and whether you relate to this or not doesn't matter. So I worked with Archangel Lucifer and he helped me out a lot. Archangel Michael helped me out a lot. Some people who are developing psychic ability now work with Archangel Michael, and now suddenly Archangel Michael is psychically attacking them. So do you actually think that's Archangel Michael psychically attacking you? So you have to start figuring out how to work with your gifts beyond the level that you are in order to face whatever that is, because now you're spiritually awakening. Now you're going from 3D to 5D, okay? And it can be hard if you're psychically sensitive, all right? I don't know if the human race is going to continue to, I don't know if everybody on the planet is going to one day experience it. I don't know. I hope not. But people do experience it. Okay, now, the final thing I'm going to tell you. So, if you want to face this yourself, I've already given you a few examples. First things first, you're not a victim. and you're not the student anymore, you're the teacher. So you're going to, what is it that you see in your mind, in your mind's eye? Now, just feel yourself standing right in front of that thing and just look at it. Now, see your energy hand is full of the love from within your heart, and you're going to share the love of you from your heart with their heart. So you just place it into their heart, and you just stand there and watch. Or you can get really bright and spin around and dance with them. You can hug them. You can say thank you. And just sometimes just standing in front of them is all you need to do. And then the rest happens. So that's how you got to start working on this, because you're going to become a master in love is what ends up happening on the other side of this. I remember in March of 2017, I finally conquered like the last bits of this, and I faced it. And I called myself a master in love. I did it. I'm a master in love, and I am a master in love. And I swear, once you go through this, nothing in life is ever going to be that hard. Nothing in life is ever going to compare, and you will get back to normal again. It takes time. Okay, March of 2017, and then all the way to April of 2018, I finally started to be able to go to sleep without feeling scared, without anxiety, to go to sleep. So it takes time, okay? All right, I hope this message is helpful. Joe's going to share a message too on this topic. So I'll put a link to his video in the description. And please reach out if you need help, okay? Use the techniques in the video. Try it out yourself, or book a session with Joe or me or both of us. Work with some Reiki. You have options. One thing you don't do is feel like a victim and that there's nothing you can do about it. That's a lie. That's not true. And you're more powerful than what you're going through. And you've got to turn that around, that thinking around, okay? All right, so if you want to do a psychic session with me, please visit me at my website at abbeynormalswisdomquest.com. Joseph's website is amonrosstheawakening.com. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you all a great day.